Hi, third through fifth grade Wolfpack. My name is Miss Bame, and I'm the librarian at McGee Elementary in Channelview ISD. Today, I want you to start the challenge to read five and then decide. More than 20 librarians got together and read over thousands of books and decided which were the top 20 books for third through sixth graders in the state of Texas. We have these books at our library, and you are going to get to enter the challenge to read all 20 books and vote for your favorite. Let's get started with our book talks. First up, J.D. and the Great Barber Battle, written by J. Dillard and illustrated by Akeem S. Roberts. Who's the best barber in town? Well, let's find out. What's worse than a bad haircut? JD has a big problem. It's the night before the start of third grade, and his mom has just given him his first and worst home haircut. When the steady stream of insults from the entire student body of Douglas Elementary becomes too much for JD to handle, he takes matters into his own hands and discovers that, unlike his mom, he's a genius with the clippers. His work makes him the talk of the town and brings him enough hair business to open a barber shop from his very own bedroom. But when Henry Jr., the owner of the only official barber shop in town, realizes he's losing money and clients to JD, he tries to shut him down for good. JD decides there's only one way to prove who's the best barber in town in all of Meridian, Mississippi. Let the people decide in the Great Barber Battle. Who would you rather cut your hair? The professional barber in town or third grade JD? Read the book and let me know your choice and why. Have you ever wanted to live on Mars? Belle does. In The Lion of Mars by Jennifer L. Holm. Besides spending his whole life on Mars, Belle is just like any other kid. He loves cats, eats all kinds of cake, and is curious about everything. Like, why do teenagers act so weird? And why did his best friend Trey suddenly want to switch rooms? But most of all, Belle wonders about the secrets that the adults keep. Why doesn't the U.S. colony have contact with anyone in the other Mars settlements? Is it really so dangerous out there? And why are they always so alone? When a virus breaks out and the grown-ups get sick, Belle and the other kids are oddly immune. That means they are not getting sick from the disease. And soon it's up to Belle to find his courage, uncover the truth, and face the terrifying unknown to save his family. Beloved author Jennifer L. Holm breaks into new ground into an out-of-this-world story that asks timely questions. What makes a family? How do you brave the unknown? And how do you brave the unfamiliar? And is survival enough? Or do we need each other to truly thrive? How far would you go to save the people you love? Answer those questions for yourself as you read The Lion of Mars. Nightingale by Deva Fagan. 12-year-old Lark is determined to escape her squalid life at Misted Starvenger's boarding house. But she needs to find a special coin to do it. Her grand scheme? To steal her fortune from the Royal Museum, of course. Unfortunately, her heist goes off the rails, and Lark ends up stealing a magical sword right out from under the nose of Prince Jasper, who is none too happy to have his plans thwarted. Using context clues, I can tell you that thwarted means messed up. Prince Jasper is not happy to have his plans messed up or thwarted. Lark soon discovers that the sword has a mind of its own, and it has chosen her to be the next Nightingale, a fabled hero who must vanquish an ancient evil that is waking after centuries of sleep. But working alone has its limitations, and relying on others after a lifetime of disappointments is very difficult. Still, Lark will need the help of her boarding house roommates if she wants to defeat the villainous forces that threaten to dismantle everything she holds dear. Well, what does Lark hold dear? Can she answer the questions on her own and save herself from the boarding house? Or does she have to rely on friends and learn how to work with others? Check it out, Deva Fagan's Nightingale. The last book we have tonight is Unspeakable, The Tulsa Race Massacre, written by Carol Boston Weatherford and illustrated by Floyd Cooper. This right here says that this book won the Coretta Scott King Award for teaching students and people about vigilance and everybody getting along. This award is the Caldecott Honor Book. It won this award for its illustrations and drawings by Floyd Cooper. And it also won the Robert Seibert Honor Book Award. And the Coretta Scott King Award is for special changes in the community. In the early 1900s, Tulsa, Oklahoma was home to a thriving African American community. The Greenwood District had its own school system, libraries, churches, restaurants, post office, movie theaters, and more. But all of that would change in the course of 2 terrible, unspeakable days. On May 31st and June 1st, 1921, a mob of armed white Tulsans attacked Greenwood. They looted homes and businesses and burned them to the ground as black families fled. The police did nothing to protect Greenwood, and as many as 300 African Americans were killed. More than 8,000 were left homeless. News of the Tulsa Massacre, one of the most worst incidents of racial violence in U.S. history, was largely suppressed, and no official investigation occurred for 75 years. That's a long time to get answers for people being treated horribly. Celebrated author Carol Boston Weatherford and acclaimed illustrator Floyd Cooper provide a sensitive and powerful introduction to the Tulsa Race Massacre, helping young students to understand that the events of the past so that we can move on to a better future for all of us. See you tomorrow, Wolfpack, with 4 new books from the Texas Bluebonnet Reading Award list.